purchase is that it prevents Germany from getting any of those guys back in force because you will dead zone the territories.
Yeah, so
Alright.
send 12 to West Russia and
Basically,
9
you
to
send everything you can to
Ukraine.
Ukraine, and then everything else you can to West Russia.
Yeah. It's 9 and 12, it should be right. That's the typical.
Yeah, that's
There are other openings that are possible.
There are, yes.
I personally prefer jamming West Russia a lot of the time, but it's a more complicated game to play.
Do you know how to attack with units?
Wait, you said 12 infantry to Russia? What?
No. Just put everything.
Send
Right.
everything
Total
you
units.
can to
So
Ukraine,
basically,
and then
9
send
total units that can.
to West Russia.
Yes. Yes.
They call it the 12-9 because 9 goes to Ukraine and 12 goes to West Russia. That's how you know you've done it right.
Alright.
And a little speed trick is if you hold down Shift when you click, it will send all units.
And if you hold down
Cool.
Control, it will send 1 unit. Just have the fighter from Karelia left to go to Ukraine, and everything else
Just-
West Russia.
I think Ukraine's perfect.
Be back in a few.
The one more guy in Archangel. The top right hand.
Yep, perfect.
All right, and now you're just ready to have at it. Hopefully they
Now
go
you
well.
hope that you don't lose all your tanks in Ukraine.
I disagree. I think it's best to lose everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, can you not?
Oh,
Send,
Jesus, that was a good roll.
Did he hit back anything? Before you continue, hold on. He hit back 2.
Oh, that was
I don't know. I
terrible
would
roll.
keep going. I don't know. What do you think?
I would retreat here.
Want to retreat?
You've gotten the bomber.
I
Yeah, I
know.
would just retreat. You've got the bomber, which is everything
Yeah,
you want. The bomber
that's a
prevents the
perfect
attack.
perfect time to retreat.
So-
You got
It is.
the
I
best
just hate
possible
leaving
result.
greens. But okay. Yeah, retreat.
Should I just auto assign?
Click the infantry.
Yeah,
Don't
you can
auto
auto
assign.
assign, but I would click the infantry first. But
Yeah,
don't
just
use
click
guys,
the
'cause sometimes it kicks other stuff. It's not very smart. And then
Yeah,
I would
you
certainly
got-
retreat here.
Yeah, you got an amazing roll there.
Wow.
There's no way that they're going to be able to. The worry is that if you retreat too early, they can hit Caucasus with too much stuff because the tanks can run through Ukraine. But you have too much stuff left that it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah, just retreat into.
I believe that's called beginner's luck.
Yeah, you basically got like a top. Yeah, it doesn't get better than that.
Cool.
I did play one game where I killed everything and lost nothing. It was crazy. I think my opponent resigned.
Well,
Afterwards.
killing, it's actually better to not kill everything, so you can retreat and don't give Germany a chance to get a juicy counterattack.
Yeah, or strength. Yeah.
Yeah, leaving the
Yeah,
one
but-
fighter behind is the best possible result.
Yeah, I mean that's why I think you're supposed to have the bomber die last, because it forces them to commit in.
I
For some
like the
reason.
bomber dying first because it gives me more hitbacks.
Yeah, but then it lets them retreat, because if the bomber dies first, I actually won't even kill the whole thing. I'll just retreat. As soon as the bomber dies, I retreat,
Really?
more or less.
No, no, well, it doesn't. Bomber does it have to die first. Some people have it. Usually, people have it die after tank. I prefer to have it die first, so I get more hitbacks overall.
I've had so many people retreating with so much that I changed it from first to after the artillery, just to keep them going.
Yeah, because you really need to incentivize them to actually commit in, so that you have a chance of taking out those tanks that Russia's sending into that battle. That's generally.
Should I
the-
keep going? Or
Yeah,
Yeah,
West
you
Russia
always
keep
You want
going.
to take
with
this because West Russia sits right on your capital, so you really don't
Yeah.
want them to have that. That would be highly unfortunate if they were to. Yes. I am attempting to figure out how to make defense profiles, but it doesn't seem to let me use any of the safe ones. So.
Yeah, you're gonna have to keep going.
Yeah, you don't retreat from this battle.
So at this point, sometimes I would retreat
Nah.
just because they have such a good chance to attack you.
They don't though.
Yeah, they think
No,
they
this
do, but they
this
don't.
is
If
this
they
is an
do, they're gonna burn
extremely
your
strong Russian start.
They don't really have the odds to hit you very hard at all.
Really?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
you need even at 4 infantry. It's kind of fuzzy whether it's good to hit it.
It's a
It's really at
50-50, so
3
some people
infantry
go
and below
for it.
that it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, we did leave
I would
them-
almost always hit it at this point just because otherwise they just have me dead zoned in Karelia too long. And the game kind of, yeah, you're just so far behind, it gives you a chance to catch up.
Yeah, but if you hit it, I think it's good because in this case we have the counterattack coming from additional units in Caucasus, so we would like to allow.
No,
you
I understand that, but either it ends up in a good strafe, or maybe you take them right out with like a tank left, and you're at least able to stack Karelia. That's typically my thinking on it.
I don't think there's any universe in which you can stack Karelia here because of the 3 tanks that's remaining in Caucasus.
6 tanks, have fun.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, if I attacked West Russia, if I took
And
out enough
captured
of
it?
them, you can take Karelia. You can stack Karelia.
But
Without
the sec-
attacking West Russia, no, of course not.
So yeah, usually the play here is this infantry that's sitting in Kazakh usually moves to the 2 infantry and a fighter in the Americans. And the reason for this is to prevent Japan from taking out the fighter on their turn before the Americans get to go. And especially because you had a big, strong Caucasus, you don't need that to.
Yeah, you send it to Szechuan where the fighter and the 2 infantry are. Yeah,
That being
and
said,
then
everything else you can go ahead and move.
yeah, and yeah, as long as you didn't have a terrible start, that's usually what you do. And
There's
then
also
just
an argument that I would
Yeah.
actually put this AA gun in West Russia because the Germans are going to get greedy. But
Yeah,
because you can
yeah,
have
put
a
that
limited
AA
forward,
gun in West Russia. I agree with that.
So
That's the part that makes
Okay.
it more difficult for them to attack. Don't forget the submarine in C-Zone 4 into C-Zone 7.
Yep, just move most of your units all over to Moscow. Yeah, just
I like to
you
leave
can leave one in
in-
Buryatia,
yeah,
but move
Buryatia.
everything else.
I wouldn't
West.
even bother. Just run. No
I,
point.
I would leave it in
Just get killed.
Buryati. I vote to leave it in Buryati. And a
Okay.
unit and a unit in Burma, because the Japanese have to make a lot of decisions
Why
about
though?
what they're going to hit first round.
Right. Yeah, it's good to leave it, not because it's necessarily a strong move, but the fact that it divides Japan, so they can't get really good odds on other fights. So they have to divert units that they don't want to divert, giving them too many
Yeah, I guess.
targets.
Yeah, I guess the question is, what's the UK's plan here?
But it depends what happens with C-Zone 7.
I tend to like the 37 attack. But
Well, we could
I think
talk
it's
about that
37.
after Germany goes.
Yeah, just move all your units over.
Yeah, let's just move everything to Germany, and then everything will be hunky dory.
Yeah,
Move
put,
everything to
put,
Germany?
put those put those 2
Right.
units
Yeah.
in
All your
Archangel.
infantry start walking.
Yeah.
Start walking to Germany. Everything. Japan's not going to be the. You're not going to survive against an intense Japanese push to your north, so you just have to.
Yeah, you pull them back
Additionally,
so
having
they don't get good trades against you. A huge portion of being good at this game is in your attacks to attack with such overwhelming force that the opponent only gets 1 roll back.
Are you following this, Cal?
Yeah, somewhat. I'm moving to Germany.
No, move
generally
them to
these guys don't go to
Archangel.
Archangel,
Move
though.
those, yeah, to
Yeah,
move
those
those,
guys
And the
move
reason
up
for
to-
that
and put a
because
fighter
they
there
can
too.
attack
It's my
Corellia
turn in a
Germany
second.
too.
I would leave 1 in Bariatia.
The Venki guys
really
go to
urge that.
Archangel.
Well, we should be consistent. We could leave 1 in Bariatia. If we do, we should leave 1 in Burma.
Yeah.
If we don't,
No,
leave anything
yeah,
in either,
the
then
UK is
that's
definitely
fine.
going to leave 1 in Burma. So from the east, put 1 in Bariatia and then 1 in Yaku. Please.
Just move the sub to C
Yeah,
Zone
don't forget-
7, and
don't
this
forget
is
that
what
sub.
pretty much every top player does every Russian turn.
Yeah, you're looking at a meta Russian
Yeah.
round 1.
Wait, so does Germany also go for C7 here?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah,
Germany will
they-
Yeah,
almost
they're
always do that.
definitely going to go for that. So
Usually.
that's
So
sub.
your sub is just a casualty to take out more of their fleet.
Yeah. Hopefully they have no submarines left after that battle.
So. Oh, okay.
Usually they'll put one of their planes up in Archangel, but either way,
Actually, keep it in
Oh, the
August is here, just because there is a chance of a German take back.
I put the
So
2
what
tanks.
am I putting these again?
2 tanks
The
in
infantry will
Russia
go to
and
Caucasus
4
with
in Caucasus.
Ukraine. You want basically. The idea is that if Germany tries to stack Ukraine, they can't because you'll have too much forces.
Put the
So
2
everything
tanks
should
in
be
Russia
engaged
and
in
the
Ukraine.
4 in Caucasus.
I mean, this is probably one of the strongest Russian openings I have seen in a while.
Yeah, that was pretty nice.
Um,
Okay, so that's a tough
Sure,
act to
yeah.
follow.
I'm glad for them. He's just starting out. Good for him.
Since I am behind significantly, I'm going to take a risk and do the sub split, which is
Okay.
normally not a fantastic strategy.
Would you blackside, like typically in this position, I honestly would just take 11 guys like against West Russia, and then I wouldn't do that. But it's up to you, obviously.
Now
I'm
that's
just
an
curious, right?
IPC negative fight. You don't. It's an IPC negative fight, and it doesn't
Well,
really do much for me.
I'm going for this. I'm going for the straight. But-
Even if you strafe, it's IPC negative for
Really?
Germany. Yeah, it's not a good
You
fight.
have to have 4 or less. You have to have 4 or less infantry for it to be FC positive on a strength.
What is
Yeah.
strafing?
Yeah.
It's well,
Strafing means when you attack with the intention of retreating.
With the 5 fighters, 3 tanks, and 3. I guess yeah, if they hit one, but I guess so.
It would be
You-
4 fighters, and it
Yeah.
So why would you intention? Like, what's the purpose of that?
I would take 5
The
fighters typically, but yeah. If I
the
did
reason
it,
is if so if you imagine that Germany conquered the territory, they would be obliged to leave all their land forces in that territory. Now, you obviously have many forces that can hit them, but if they were to attack and then retreat to, say, Belorussia, none of your land units would be in range to attack them. This way, they preserve their units while doing maximum damage to yours. That's the idea of a strafe attack.
Okay.
yeah, this
In particular,
look
in this
good.
case, Germany would be attacking with a lot of tanks they don't want to lose.
Does it look good?
yeah, no, it's good.
Alrighty. Well, do I
We'll
want to
see how
attack
much the
that,
UK gets
that
it done.
fighter?
Do you
Maybe I don't
Yeah.
want that fighter.
that destroyer makes me nervous down there, but probably going to be a KGF anyway.
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is this is just trying to. Do I
You want to buy time for Germany.
CC?
You're trying to buy time.
Okay, let's do it this way.
I hate it when they do a C zone 37 and then build a fleet off of India and bring that
Well,
destroyer out
They'd
there.
be foolish to do a C zone 37 when they're this far ahead. That's I think it works like 68% of the time. 2 out of 3 times it can put you in a great spot, but if it doesn't, you've basically lost the game.
Yeah,
I honestly, I would still do 37 here, would be my intuition. The reason being because that's the most effective use of those IPCs early in the game. If I don't do 37, what am I doing? I'm sending an aircraft carrier and a fighter after your destroyer. Great. Now I have a cruiser fight. I have this whole fleet that isn't doing anything. Right.
It can,
Whereas
when
even
you
if
don't
I
have
lose
to kill
most
the
of them-
battleship, it can be a reasonable thing to do.
Right. I just want to take out your 2 fighters to slow down Japan significantly. And if I retreat with some fighters, great. That's fine. I don't mind.
yeah.
Right. 'Cause I'm effectively going to trade off my material here to slow you down. Whereas otherwise, my material is not doing anything. Especially because I don't have to deal with a battleship.
I think
The argument
Hey.
is
Good job.
nice.
oh dear, this is bad.
Okay, well this helped
So
us catch up into the game. That was pretty good result. I have to change my defense profile because I don't want to be having someone snipe my bomber. One
What
minute
are
warning.
what are defense profiles?
They decide what order that your units die.
So if you go to the gear in the top left corner, you
Yeah.
select defense profile, you'll see there's a default one. What you should do is you should make a custom one and set it to the order, depending on the power you're playing, which order of casualties you want to take. Usually you want to take like AA guns first, for example, because they don't contribute to your additional defense. And then people can decide where they want like bombers to die in order, right? Because bombers don't defend very well, but sometimes you want to preserve them. You don't want to let your opponent kill them first. Sometimes you don't. So you can customize that in the defense profile. Things I would recommend is I would recommend removing the option that says destroy second last under anti-aircraft artillery, because you don't really want one of your AA guns surviving. There's no reason for that. I don't know
Alright.
why it's an option.
So
there's a
AA
C
should be
comment.
top.
Yeah, I would do AA for land units. I would do AA infantry, artillery, bomber,
Oh.
tank. Yeah, you want artillery to so.
You want
air-
tank to be
anti-aircraft
last?
infantry- No, fighters last.
Okay.
Then bomber, you can decide if you want that to die before or after your infantry or artillery or your tanks. They don't
Rush,
defend very well, but
Rush doesn't have to worry about bombers.
that's a good point. And then the sea combat, you don't have to really worry about since your only sub died. But
Cool.
generally, you want to this gives you the, if you look in the C tab, you have the option for submarines to either submerge or not, and that can depend on whether they're alone, which is generally when you want them to submerge, or with a fleet, which is generally when you want them to be up and defend.
Hey, Black Tide,
Yeah.
do you mean to leave 2 guys in Belarusia?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
He only has 2 planes, so if he wants to trade, it's going to force him to either commit a lot or to do an inefficient trade. So I'm leaving 1 in Ukraine because they kind of have to do Ukraine, and the other ones, if he wants to trade it out, he's going to have to commit.
I'm just questioning because obviously you're a very highly ranked player. Sometimes, like if I'm short on guys, I'll just leave Belarusia empty just to make sure I can stack Corellia next turn.
Unless it's like super tight odds, I don't like. Actually, I'm not. I'm gonna put everything in Germany and nothing in Italy because I don't expect that bad. Well, maybe. Yeah, I don't expect that battleship to sort of. I'll put 2 down here just for old time's sake.
Yeah, if you don't put the 2 down there, I think I don't have to hit the battleship, to be fully honest.
Yeah, I won't put
necessarily.
anything down there. There's no value in that spot. Okay, yeah, there's no value in that spot. I'll just leave it empty. Okay, so double check my defense profile. Okay, group submerge. Okay, and while Russia was good, that was about as clean as you can expect for the risks we took.
All right, ABL. What?
We
what
have a problem here, which is that I unfortunately will have to defend against the attack. I really do have to send all 3 planes after this battleship, since he took Gibraltar,
hey,
and that means there's a transport that will be left alive.
what do I call you?
You can call me Destruct. That's
Destruct. Okay. So what's your plan with the what are you looking to do?
This is tricky because we have. I don't think I can kill the transport in 5. This is theoretically why there should be a Russian fighter in Archangel, in case this happens.
There should be, but I don't know if it'd be used for that anyway. So that's the problem. Anyway.
Well, the issue is that if I don't take out that transport, then I have to buy a sufficient number of infantry so that he can't attack UK.
You do, but
possible.
you really need to get one of the transports is a big thing. At least getting
Well,
one
yeah,
of the
I'm gonna
transports.
put all the air goes after this battleship. That's basically the deal.
And then you can get 2 fighters, and if you don't feel safe sending the other 2 fighters away, you'll have a couple of fighters defend with land units. I think that would be a bad attack for him to try and take UK with 1 transport. If it comes to that.
Well, he can send it with 6 planes and a cruiser. So if he takes out UK...
Well, you got to take out the cruiser. You got to take out that cruiser.
I can't take out the cruiser and the battleship. Not going to happen.
Yeah, that's the strength of if this strategy works. It basically means the UK can't really drop a fleet for the first.
No, yeah,
one
you're
or two
not.
turns.
You're not dropping a
It's pretty
fleet.
much impossible.
You're not dropping a fleet.
The question is, do I buy 1 fighter plus a little bit more infantry in UK just to make sure?
No, I'd get to 2 fighters. I would get.
It's also probably a really strong KGF opportunity. Russia had a strong start. You lost all your navy. That's an option.
You mean KJF?
Yeah, killed Japan.
Yeah, you said G.
But,
I'm just nitpicking at you there, Black Tide.
I mean, it is a strong KGF, but it depends on kind of how Japan's turn goes, really, and how much material they lose.
Well, UK can purchase. You can purchase a sub, a few infantry, and fighter. And if you want to go for 37 and try to make this a KJF, that's up to you.
I mean, we can go for 37. I just don't think it has to be KJF. You go 37. It just depends on how it goes. And
it does depend on how it goes. I'm just saying you can.
Like, I think
you can posture in that direction if you wish. You know what I'm saying? 37's a risk, but
The
I'm
best
I'm not
posture is
opposed
just,
to it.
I mean, if I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. The best posture is always the planes in UK, because those planes will eventually fly to Russia and they can go anywhere. I don't need a UK Navy per se to do a KJF. It doesn't help that much in my opinion, especially since I have Africa under control.
If we do a KJF, you are going to need
So I
a
would
British Navy at some point.
But I don't think turn 1 is necessary, because if he does
No,
troll,
you
it
don't
doesn't-
need a
doesn't
Navy now.
really- like, I just have to hide them.
The 2 fighters is
Yeah.
a good buy. I'm saying you could also purchase a sub
Yeah.
for 35.
The sub, if I'm not hitting the destroyer, I mean, it's kind of meh. I think that probably what we'll do is just do that, since he cannot blitz it back. And I do think I don't have a better use for these units than to do this. Unfortunately, that is everything, because my entire fleet is gone in the Atlantic.
I'm not opposed to
Um,
37, but it is a risk.
Yeah, it's a risk, but I think even if we get the 2 fighters, that's enough. There's not really a point. India will hold because I have enough freedom from Africa, so I think it's fine.
You could go for Borneo or
That
something.
will be my... Do I want to go for
So-
Borneo?
If
Well,
you want,
if I go
you
for
know,
Borneo, I could. I mean, that's the question. I like this transport's always safe if this dies. It's not if it doesn't. This can't go. The Borneo would have to go from India. The only worry is that India is a little weaker if you do this,
Okay.
so it might be better not to. Just so we don't get hit with a big India attack.
So when we're referring to like KGF and KJF, are these considered openings or are they going into mid game?
Oh
No,
god.
KJF means kill Japan first. KGF means kill Germany first. And you usually want to pick one target and have all 3 powers kind of gang up in the one country, or something like that.
Well, here's the bad news: is I lost everything against the battleship. I didn't kill it,
yeah.
so we're going to lose now.
That was extremely bad luck.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is what I was concerned, because now the UK is potentially dead.
Well, she's on 37, whatever. If you put those 2 fighters on, still really hard for. I can land a bomber there.
Even your bomber will not be sufficient. So
He's not coming in with
unfortunately,
enough.
Yep. He can come in with 4 land units, 5 fighters, and a bomber, and a cruiser. And a
Okay,
battleship.
you already have what, 6 units there, and you're putting 2 more there, and 4 of them
I
are
have-
fighters.
Well, both my fighters died, so I have 4 units there.
Well, you have more than
this
4
is-
units. Why would you have
unless I
4 units? What are
deploy-
you talking about?
Because I lost both my fighters to
Five,
the battleship.
6,
and
7.
failed to kill it. So the only solution in this case is to deploy everything.
Well, no, this game's over then. If you deploy everything to UK, this game's already over. Like, this game's done then.
What are you thinking, John? You want to start another game?
Well, if
No,
I don't.
If it was a weak Russia, I would say the game's in trouble, but I don't think the game's
That's
over at all
horrible.
because of how strong Russia is. Though
If we
UK,
put nothing out of India first round, that's there's no.
Well, I think it comes down to
Russia-
whether U.S. is able to take out that battleship. If they can't
US can
take
only
out the
send fire and
battleship, they're really in trouble.
So here's the
Isn't
thing:
that-
is Russia did have these 3 tanks profit, so Russia can use these 3 tanks to swap in for the 3 units that I would fail to put in India.
yeah, three
Is the
three
solution to
tanks,
this issue.
artillery, and infantry. Pretty
Right,
nice.
so you can supplement India in this case. Unfortunately,
know. I-
believe that there's not really a solution here, because the odds I would have to run it, but I'm pretty sure that 4 land units plus 6 air, I have to put everything in UK to even have a chance.
I don't think you do, but
and
Not lose UK.
bomber maybe. Yeah.
Because even if you kill this battleship and transport with his 2 land units, and he can sack enough fighters that he can take UK. Because this transport will be alive. Because the expectation was I would have the 2 fighters come back after killing the battleship, which they did not. So I am pretty, in fact, highly confident that I am forced to deploy everything to UK.
see, I would
Objectives,
put
so-
everything. I would not. And if he takes UK, he takes it. Game's over. If he doesn't, then you have your units, and that's just me. Because I think this is like such a bad situation that there's no getting out of it. That's just me.
Well, but the thing is, if it's horrible, but we have a really good Russia, so that should stabilize India, I think.
But
And we did
Russia
take out the
wasn't
2 planes
that
here.
great because West Russia wasn't great. That's the thing. West Russia wasn't. It was like
It wasn't that great, but I prefer it to like losing UK immediately. I mean, put it this way: if I put the max forces in, he can still hit it and win some of the time. So we should make that as expensive as possible.
okay, but I mean that's like India
think
round
there's-
India round 3 or 4 is done. Especially
India's
when it
probably
take
done.
especially when it take out the transport. That's it.
I admit India was probably done, but that doesn't mean you lose the game. Whereas if UK dies, you lose the game.
I don't know if India's done. You had a really successful season 37.
Yeah, 37 was good, which means that the 2 fighters that Japan relies on to be efficient in the opening is difficult. So, and I can use this transport to dump 2 infantry into India if I need to.
Well,
So
Black
that
Eyed,
will
I'm thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, just do the standard 2 transport, 2 infantry, artillery, and a tank. Just do the standard pressure build. No reason to be fancy.
That's what I'm thinking too. Although sometimes I don't do the tank. I just do 2 guys.
I prefer the tank because it gives you more India pressure.
Yeah, no, I understand. I understand why, but yeah, if I was concerned at all about it being a KJF, I'd buy 1 transport even, but and maybe a plane. But no, that makes sense. Okay.
if he sacks
You-
air for the UK, he can take it with 60% odds right now.
Would you typically do a Pearl Harbor here?
No,
Or
you
just
don't.
put all the
You're
pressure on
missing.
India?
You're missing a lot of planes. So just do what you know you're gonna do. So send 2 to Buryatia from Manchuria, 1 fighter. Yeah, 1 to Burma. That's good. No, you want the fighter on Manchuria. Otherwise, it can't land in Kwangtung. You use that fighter to attack Anhui, so it can land in Kwangtung.
I get what you're saying. I get that. Just let me do all the moves and then criticize it once I'm done.
Sure.
So here's the bad news: is that if they can still take UK right now just fine.
They're either gonna take it or they're not. That's there's no reason. Like, I'm gonna try to take out the battleship. I'm gonna land the bomber there.
The point is that if you try to take out the battleship, the most common outcome is you lose the bomber and the destroyer, right?
I know.
You could choose not to, which means you could actually land the bomber in the UK as another increases the odds from 60 to 30.
Well, the bomber can go there. Yeah, I mean, it would be much better if it takes out the transport.
Right, but I'm saying the most common outcome of that battle is going to be battleship dead, transport alive.
Yeah, but if I could lose the destroyer and then just send the bomber to UK, what was that point?
I'm saying the bomber usually dies in that attack and fails to kill the transport.
Okay, what I'm saying is
Usually,
if like we could go for it if we get no hits and they hit back, I lose the destroyer and the bomber in UK. At least we're
I see.
taking a chance.
the question is, if you get one hit, do you proceed?
Yes,
The only thing I'm kind of wondering is
you have to take
maybe
the
I
risk.
don't need to
You
take
have to.
that
You have
artillery
to
there.
take the risk. I think you have to take the risk.
I think
Okay,
you're probably
Black Knight.
right.
You see what I did?
Okay, hold on a second.
Sorry, guys, we were talking.
Sorry, my dad just killed me. Let me see. Where's your transport hitting? They're hitting there.
Actually, I'm doing everything to go at India, basically.
Well, one. Let me take a look at this real quick. You might. Let me make sure you can defend C-Zone 62 properly. Okay, so let me see.
Well, I have both destroyers.
Send all your units from Kiangsu. You don't want to hold anything back.
From sure.
Shanghai? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I would maybe send the bomber to Buryatia instead of Anhui, just because you already should have enough strength there. Let's see. Do you have enough fighters to dead zone C-Zone 45?
No, you should have not just 37. That would be my answer.
Want to make
Unless you leave C units and support.
Is on where?
Well, give me a second. I'm looking at everything, calculating.
I assume you know
Yeah,
this. So he's worried that our fleet is going to go to C-Zone 45 with the intention of flying fighters from C-Zone 45 to India.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Good luck with that.
yeah, I don't. Well, he doesn't have.
I don't think I have enough guys to do that.
Maybe I think you might be right, but
I think I'm gonna take that cruiser off so I can put it by Japan for the transports.
let's see. You have that
But
there.
you also have to worry about 60.
Let's see, how many planes would we have? We would have. Yeah, I think there's just no point in thinking about it. Yeah, probably fine to do the yeah, take the cruiser and just put it to attack. Where is that? Yunnan is probably okay.
I'm not really too worried about it. I've got 10 guys going there, but yeah.
Well, I mean, you're not going to do anything else with it. Might as well back it up. He doesn't have a bomber or a second transport in range of East Indies, so that's probably safe.
Always snag Borneo if I wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, I would just send that bomber to Buryatia. It's a minor thing. It probably doesn't make too much of a huge difference, but I think you have enough muscle for Anhui. You have 11 attack power, whereas Buryatia only has 5.
Yeah, also another reason against leaving. I know I didn't leave the infantry in Burma as we discussed, but that's because of the horrible nature of.
I'm gonna take that one infantry off. The only reason is because I think I want to take a fighter back out to C-Zone 60 just in case they decide to attack the.
No, you see your Manchuria fighter and your destroyer
Okay.
are going to land on C-Zone 60, and that will be enough to defend against his attack.
Okay. Oh, then I'm going.
Okay, that's probably fine. Just as long as if you don't want to move the bomber.
Yeah, I would send the bomber up Ariati. So much
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I think Onway already has enough. I'd send that
Just
bomber
guarantee
to Bariatia just to
Bariatia.
decrease the odds of him getting a hit back.
I'm gonna take the fighter instead.
Either way.
You can no. You can't do the fighter. You need that fighter to be able to land in Kwang Tung to have 3 fighters to defend.
Oh, yeah.
You can't defend
That's
Kwang
the only
Tung
thing.
unless you have 3 fighters there.
Yeah, that's why I was leaving the infantry open.
Yeah,
I
you
got
don't want to hold that unit back. Every unit you use in an attack reduces the odds of them getting a second round and getting a hit back. It's very rarely a good idea to hold units back. Okay, that
Yeah,
looks
but like the artillery, normally I would take the artillery in there, but like I have enough. I don't need it, right? For
you
Onway.
don't want to
just
send
like-
the artillery there because you're trying to do an India pressure.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So okay.
With C-Zone 37, India's pretty hard to do, but since he didn't produce, who knows? We could get a Christmas miracle. Okay, that looks good.
This is why back to my purchases. I was really strongly considering buying just land, which I know is suboptimal, but in the case something goes horribly wrong, it still lets you save India while not losing UK.
I think the odds of the battleship, there's like a 1 or 2% chance surviving.
It's closer to 5, I think. It happens more often than you think. It's a high variance battle because the battleship either binarily dies or does not.
I'm sorry, guys.
Why?
My I just got. You guys ever get that where you get the green screen?
Oh, just you have to
You can just
sing.
close it and
Yeah.
restart the game. Everything will be fine.
You don't have to apologize.
Those were some abysmal hits, but it was exactly enough.
Yeah, you only win 95% of the time. So against a battleship. So in 20 games you will lose everything.
That was gnarly.
Yeah, I thought I'd be okay, but I only got one hit in and the bomber missed.
At the
last
cost
shot.
of everything, you should have got the battleship.
Yeah, and the transport can be mopped up by the US bomber, which is fine. The problem is now we have to decide how you're going to deal with the Atlantic, or not, as the case may be. Because I can always just put an arbitrarily large number of land units in UK next turn. To
I think
make it
UK
live.
is going to be purchasing a lot of aircraft
For the foreseeable
rounds of
future.
this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The question is, are you planning on trying to kill Japan here?
They're
Don't know.
probably going to do a KJF since they didn't do Pearl, since we had a good 37, since the Atlantic absolute shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think the Atlantic looks really nice personally.
Good for you.
I
I'm
mean,
glad you
I'll get the
think that
transport next turn
that
for
way.
sure, so that's fine, I guess. The issue is if we don't kill this battleship, you're gonna lose Brazil, which is very bad.
Yeah, I don't want to build like subs for the.
Question is, yeah, what the problem is let them take Brazil, because if they take Brazil and then
No, I know.
Decide
I'm
to
just
walk
saying I don't want to
away
like
from
have
that.
to do something like that. Maybe just bombers or something.
I mean, usually if you're going to do this KJF, you definitely want carrier.
No, I'm
Bombers.
talking about the.
Hmm. I'm assuming you're running the transport.
I'd
somewhere
rather
else
they
then.
take Brazil than take UK. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, I think
I'd
honestly,
rather
I
they
think they're
take
supposed-
Brazil for a round than UK.
That was pretty clean.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Overwhelming force.
Yeah, this is also why I'm not a fan of the Buriate guy, because Japan can definitely be overwhelming force.
Well, if
pretty much no matter what.
I know you didn't want to leave a guy in Burma, but if you had left a guy in Burma, this would have been a little. It's designed to.
He still could have sent,
Well,
but
you
he
did.
sent like so many troops here. That requires that we take out the 61 transport, right? Otherwise, he can send too many troops to
You
here. And
didn't.
everything
Well,
else
you
gets
didn't
split.
put the 3 units in India. You know.
India, yeah.
So like that's
So I
a
feel like
big
that's a
deal.
little bit out of my control.
I mean,
but
that's
yeah.
everything.
You might consider putting your sub in C Zone 47 so he can't take Burma with that transport.
I can still take with the sub
Yeah.
only.
Right,
have to-
Borneo. He can't take Borneo with it. With the sub.
I definitely could if I wanted to. Subs don't
I was
allow
only
it.
Well-
putting it there because sometimes they go to Iwo Jima with their American fleet.
If he goes to Iwo Jima, that's okay. What I just don't want to give that transport purpose.
Yep.
Well, it's the sub in 47 doesn't block me from landing.
Yes, it does. You need a surface ship with the transport sub. You don't have to attack
Oh.
it, but you at least need a surface
Oh, you
ship.
scared me. You were supposed to leave one fighter in C Zone 60. I didn't know you were hitting end turn yet. Yeah, well,
Well, I
It's
put
probably-
I put three boats there.
yeah, it's probably fine.
I would actually probably.
But yeah, it's probably okay.
Totally fine, but we should actually probably hit it.
Yeah,
and
I would have put
consolidate
a
with
fighter there,
Season 6.
but
Problem is you
Season
probably lose your
60.
fleet in 59 if you do that.
Season 60.
It's probably not worth it because you would sacrifice your whole fleet.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
probably the fighters probably don't live, so you
Only get
sacrifice
2
a carrier
fighters.
and 2 fighters to get the one from Szechuan.
You really think they'd risk the fighters and they need them for India?
It's still only 2 fighters that can land on aircraft.
Yeah, but I mean, so the thing is, if you run it and then you get the hits, you take out the transports. Japan's never going to hit India. If you don't, then we lose.
I
I
think
don't know
it's too
how
risky.
far behind you think we are, Sinclair.
I think that's
Too risky. I generally agree. It's an opportunity.
I'm gonna get a regular KJF buy. 2 subs, 2 destroyers, and aircraft carrier.
Subs? You go subs for KJF? I guess. I don't like subs in a KJF personally. I see it a lot, so it's fine. I guess. I don't really care. Do you like your KJF? You're gonna drive the KJF anyway, so whatever you're most familiar
The
with.
one problem I have is I only have the train. Oh, I still have
You
the
have
2
the
trains.
two,
I
you
have
can
the 2.
drop.
Okay, no, I do have the 2. Okay, yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking I took out my train.
No, he took out the UK destroyer, which is the worst bit actually because
Yeah.
I needed to hit back. It looks like a less juicy target, but it's definitely the juicier target. And it induced a complete failure, so that happens sometimes. You hit Solomon here. I like hitting it first turn, but
I'm gonna, yeah. So,
the other question is we could do the slingshot to India if we really need to.
but land a fighter.
You stick the entire fleet in 45, and the fighter from the top of the carrier in Australia, and then all the fighters, 3 fighters, can fly to India. So you would have the entire Pearl fleet would go to 45, which is probably fine here. I don't really see them hitting 44.
I guess, yeah, I guess.
You could do both because your destroyer and battleship can come to 44. I don't really think anything hits you there, and the rest of your fleet comes to 45.
Can he hit?
You get 45 with a sub and a bomber. That's it.
No, 49.
49. Yeah, 49 he can hit with everything, so let's not do that.
I guess I don't know. I don't see the point in hitting Solomon. Not gonna. I don't know.
You
I
hit
guess we
Solomon
could
because
hit it. I
then he
guess we.
can't hit you with the bomber. It's just to it's so he doesn't have air landing zones.
Yeah,
that's the
no,
thing.
I know.
It's a little risky because you only get the
I'm just
only get
saying,
the
like, do we
battleship
even
bombard.
need anything in, or if not landing the aircraft carriers?
Yes, because the 747 and bomber can both hit 44.
No, what I'm saying is, do we need
Oh, but if
we have anything in?
we even hit it,
Is what I'm saying.
you don't have to. No.
I guess. But now I can't use any of the fighters. And then
You can just use, yeah, you can't use any of the fighters. You just use the battleship. The battleship, I mean, it's still
Hopefully-
overwhelming. So
yeah,
it'll be
hopefully.
fine. I think it's the most efficient. Whether it's the best or not, I don't know. But
I think that's it. I don't have anything.
no, it cannot.
All right.
Well, if 13 goes well, I'm gonna feel like a dumbass for deploying in the UK, but
Oh, well, we'll see. See what happens there.
I'm also gonna be incredibly impressed that you can kill it with that when I couldn't kill it with the air unit.
It would, you know, kind of bring us back. Like I just
Would
kill
be
it in one
poetic.
round.
That is true. I mean, it's entirely possible.
Oh. Yes, we got it. And we didn't lose a thing.
Oh wow, and didn't even get a hit back.
Yeah.
What?
It's some payback.
All right. Well, UK is safe now. Well, sorry I deployed in UK then, but if you didn't kill it, then
Be a very short game.
it would be a
It's-
very short game.
And yeah, a destroyer and a bomber is kind of you win most of the time, but it's a close. It can be
It
a close
is.
thing.
It is. It's risky, but I had to take it. I guess.
Actually, the most common outcome is killing the battleship and leaving the transport alive, which is the
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah,
It's still a
that's
second
true.
transport that was in UK. Right. So that's why it's like, even if he kills the battleship and the transport lives, then we're still in deep doo doo if I don't deploy to UK.
You know what?
Oops. Move the transport. Wait, careful. That transport didn't actually move. One of your transports is still in. Whatever that zone is. 11.
Yeah.
So you can take the and you can take the plane from San Francisco onto the carrier as well in 45, I think. I would put the entire fleet there and then bring the destroyer from 56 to 44. Yeah. And the sub can also
Need that.
forward
Or
pressure. Probably 4 is better. Because 45 already has 4 units, then he can only hit with 2. Whereas if he really, I mean, he's not going to hit anyway, so let's be realistic. The only thing is, see, there's no fighter in 60, so it doesn't really matter. But if there's a fighter in 60, it becomes more relevant because that can hit 45. But he has nothing, so it doesn't matter. Um,
You want me to land in West Russia? Fighter?
I don't think we need it. I would put everything in Kazakh, so that means you can hit whatever he advances and then land in West Russia next turn or India
The
next turn.
fighter too? How's it?
Yeah, because that way it can move 1 to hit whatever it is, and then go 3 to either West Russia or India. I don't think it should be needed in West Russia here.
Probably not.
Probably.
I think I've taken up.
Fine. Yeah. I will say I don't normally play KJF, so this is going to be a new one for me. Let's try to survive here.
All right.
Especially with the
Yeah, but these opponents, we
Should I go for infantry and tanks again?
I
no,
would use
no,
way more
no.
tanks. You haven't.
What? Just by I think it's however many infantry you get with artillery. Like I think you have
I think in
8.
this case
If
it
you
would
have
be
8
6
remaining, you
and
get 2
2.
artillery. If you have 4 remaining, you get artillery.
Yeah. Pretty much from now on, Russia's just going to buy infantry, and then
Be an
in
artillery.
this case you could get, I guess you could get 2 artillery instead of 2 infantry.
I can't get any artillery with 8, so should I
No,
just
no,
get
they're
6
saying
infantry?
6 men to artillery.
Yeah, 6 infantry.
We mean 8 units total.
Oh, okay.
In which case you can spend those 2 IPCs on. Yeah. So then the idea here is you have to trade Ukraine because you don't want those tanks hitting your Caucasus. Then the question is, what else do you want to trade? I would prefer to trade everything here because it prevents stacking with the planes, and the planes have no use in the Atlantic, so the planes are definitely going to want to be sitting there on a stack.
That means you have to use a lot of units, though. That's the problem.
Well, what I would do is probably I would do infantry artillery to Ukraine. Then I would use 2 units and a fighter to each of the top ones. And you're probably good enough.
I would, if it was me, I would just trade Ukraine and Bello.
Whoa. Not so. Okay, so sorry. When we say trade, what I should say, you want to use as few ground units as possible, so that your army is not exposed to getting hit back.
Okay.
So in this case, you're going to use like
You want to take it, so
literally
you're going
1
to
or
use
2
2.
infantry.
You're going to use 2 infantry. You want it to.
And also, those should come from Caucasus because you'll need the other infantry later. So use the Caucasus infantry for Ukraine.
I use
So
Caucasus.
you want to use the infantry from Caucasus in this case, right? Because those can't do anything else. Yeah.
So now the debate is, do
Problem is
you
we don't
want to
take
try to
Karelia.
attack
He's
everything?
100% going to. Well, if we don't trade Karelia, he 100% stacks Karelia, and we definitely have to retreat from West Russia next turn.
I don't know. You have to retreat.
Yeah, I think we will. Well, I mean, he's going to have. It's going to be 10 infantry, 9 tanks, 5 fighters, and a bomber. which is not what we can hold, especially with UK losing all its fighters. 'Cause normally there's 2 UK fighters already there.
12 infantry because of the transport.
Right, yeah. Even worse. So, yeah. I honestly think we have to treat everything here. Would be my estimation. But it is risky.
So what should I do?
If we trade everything, the attack should be infantry artillery to Ukraine, and then 2 land units and a fighter to each of the other guys with 2. The idea being that maximizes the chance that you take all 3 of the territories. But it is risky.
I think you have to send 3.
3? That's a lot.
That's why it's.
I don't really think it's that bad.
Are you allowed to use like calculators in the game or like competitive games and stuff?
We don't use
Not,
calculators.
we don't usually use them in Blitz. You can use it like after a fight's already happened, but we don't. You can only use it once a game, and you have to announce it.
Okay. Should I use a tank in
No.
colors?
No. What I would do is, if we're gonna trade just the 2, then it would just be the fighter to each of the top one. Well, my personal opinion would be 2 infantry and a fighter to each of the top 2, and infantry artillery to the bottom 1. It is risky, but it preserves the most chance of Russia. The other benefit of this is that it allows you to stack your tanks into Caucasus, which means they can flow to India if needed for round 3. Otherwise, you have to stack your tanks in West Russia.
Am I blind? Where are my fighters? Hang on.
Your fighters are in Ukraine.
What one's still in Caucasus?
Yeah, but the one in Caucasus is going to Ukraine right now, isn't it? Wait, what?
You have 2 in Caucasus, and you only took 1 to Ukraine.
Yeah, so you have 2 options here. You can hit all 3, in which case, if you're hitting all 3, the 2 fighters probably need to go to the guys with 2 infantry in them, right? If you're not hitting Karelia, then you can just use the 1 fighter to each of the 2 that you're hitting. It depends on how much you think you want to avoid letting him stack Karelia. Definitely can't send both fighters to 1 territory. That is not going to work out for you. You definitely have to split them 1 to each. But if you're doing this, again, if you're doing this, I would send the fighters to Bello and Karelia, and then just land units into Ukraine, since you will be taking Ukraine. That's the one you care about taking. So if you trade out the infantry in the other ones, okay, that's like worst case, that's probably fine. But yeah. And then depending on your risk tolerance, you can either do 2 infantry, 1 artillery, or just infantry artillery to Ukraine. I am highly risk tolerant, usually. I know I don't sound that way. my purchase. My placement. Those are your options. Again, so the reason why we're not attacking with more infantry is because you can't afford to leave infantry in these territories.
Yeah, if you're gonna
In
go
what territories?
if you're gonna go for
So
it,
you
I would
put
just
the
do the
2
yeah. If you're gonna go for it, I would just do the 3-3.
Yeah, well, except with infantry artillery here. You cannot afford to send more than 2 infantry into these territories. The reason is because anything you send that's extra will just get destroyed by an overwhelming German counterattack. So you want to send as few units as possible with a chance that you take it. So in other words, these 2 guys from Archangel will be better set to attack later.
So like this?
Except Ukraine should be infantry artillery, right? Because the infantry attacks with the better with the artillery. If you're going to send 2 land units, you might as well make it 7.6. So yeah, you can do 2 in 1. I would prefer 1 in 1, but it's up to you. 2 in 1 is probably a bit of a waste.
Oh.
This is what I would do, but yeah, it's some people would not have Karelia here, and they would focus better odds into the other 2. I think this is probably fine because even if we don't take all of them, we still can hold.
All right.
But it's highly beneficial if we take them all. Cool. Yeah, let's go for it.
Cool.
Are you there?
I can't. I just can't follow the battle for some reason.
Is Cow there? Is Cow here?
Was
Well, what is he AFK? What's happening?
I don't know. Still on.
I feel like there's not much to think about.
And it's something could have
Sorry,
happened.
my laptop lagged.
Yeah, something
Okay.
could have happened.
That's all.
Are you using a touchpad?
No,
by
that's a
chance?
fine outcome.
What? No, I'm no.
Oh, okay.
All right, here we go. The risky one.
They're risky. I mean,
Go for
you
it.
can continue here probably. Continue. You're likely to score 2 hits. Only 10%. It's less of a risk than you took initially. So if they score another hit, then you fall back once you have just the fighter. But
Not when I have 2. I have equal attack power. That's 1 out of 9. You lose that
No hits
fighter.
again. He hit
Yeah,
both.
that's the 1
We
out
lost
of
the
9.
fighter. Oh god.
we did. It's unfortunate. 1 out of 9 is not that frequently of a chance.
Well, it's an IPC negative fight to
Yeah.
do at that point.
Not discreetly. It's IBC negative in the. So here's the thing: is like so. There's only 1/9 of the time. Yeah, it's hugely negative, right? And then most of the other times, you either trade 1 for 1, or you lose your infantry, and then it's like whatever. For the if you don't if you don't continue the fight, then there was no reason to attack with 2 infantry, 1 plane in the first place. Frequently, you're going to have a sequence where you will win the battle, but you will lose an infantry first. Right. Oh boy.
No
We can't seem
hit.
to hit things today.
It's also good to turn show dice animations off as well.
Mine is off, but I don't.
Well, his might be on, so.
Computers is being annoying.
You can also adjust the speed in the.
Yeah, turn
Settings.
turn under gameplay, turn fast dice on.
Losing the fighter is bad. That's unfortunate. Another problem with this is that we now have to. Oh,
Got it done the
oh,
double hit
sakes,
back.
Really?
Those German
Wow.
infantry.
And now we have to retreat, of course.
That was just
no
a
point in pushing
disaster.
it
That was an
there.
absolute disaster.
I mean, the odds of that are, for them to get that many hits, for us to get that few is like way low, cumulatively over the amount of dice we rolled. The other problem is that you have to stack
think
all your
it's,
tanks in the West Russian.
It's a 58% conquer, so a little over half the time you'll take with that.
No, but it's not only that we didn't conquer; it's that we didn't even kill everything in there.
Yeah. I think the
Right.
I think it's only like a 13% chance to
It's
survive.
roughly 10% to fail to kill, and we failed to kill twice, so that's 1%.
Yeah, I don't even know if we.
You can. You have enough tanks, but it's tight.
So
You just send out. Basically, you just send everything to West Russia here. Absolutely
If
everything.
you guys want to start the game over, now would be the time.
I don't think the game is super one-sided at this point.
It's not one-sided. It's just very unusual in this.
With
in a sense
one
that
with one fighter, Soviet Union's gonna be really struggling at AJ.
Well, they have a lot of
in-
extra tanks and stuff.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
they lost whatever advantage they had in that round.
Yeah, that hurt for sure.
I mean, what's going to end up happening is that we are basically probably going to sacrifice Moscow at some point for a push with the remaining Russian units to Japan, and then hope to have an endgame of America and UK versus Germany.
should I defend Ukraine more?
Ukraine's going to be lost no matter what you put in there, so you don't
Oh.
care about it.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, you need to hold West Russia because West Russia might be lost even in this case. Oh, I would put everything, both AA guns, just everything into West Russia, and pull back from Japan as hard and as possible.
Guy from Szechuan.
Szechuan can step back as well.
Back.
The reason that guy went there, it looks stupid, but the reason he went there is to prevent the Japanese can attack that with 5 guys, but when there's 4 defenders, it's significantly less good for him to hit it. So, that being said, as Japan, I still hit it when there's only 4 guys there. So,
A lot of times I put a U.
61, right? No, obviously I'm not gonna hit with the UK brother. Yeah, that guy can step back to Kazakh, and then everything is good. We'll hold West Russia, no problem here. I wouldn't put him there. He's just gonna get walked into by 4 infantry. Just run. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, this looks probably fine. It's not great at all, but we'll live. The benefit of trading everything is that theoretically, you could have left your tanks in Caucasus had you taken all 3 territories. This means the tanks in Caucasus could be used to defend India. That's not going to happen. can deploy some to.
Yeah, I would put
Um,
two artillery.
I would deploy as much to Caucasus as possible.
Yeah, yeah, two artillery.
So, yeah. The reason is because again, you do not want to let him stack Ukraine if at all possible. At least he will only stack Karelia, which is a little farther from Caucasus. So you're better. That being said, he's definitely stacking Karelia, and
Oh, I'm not stacking that.
oh, you definitely are, aren't you? You can hold it for sure.
Yeah, but I don't want it. Okay,
What?
so Kitch, I
Yep.
am thinking of stacking Ukraine, and I would like your fighters there for one turn.
Does that put me in a bad position with the U.S.?
Well,
It does. It does.
yeah, that's why I'm thinking about it. Because
That's a fight. I was not expecting that.
the other thing is for you to go for a India push is another option.
The only that was my game plan too. My only risk is they can throw 4 additional units in there if they use their transports, right?
Yes, sir.
Plus the
That's
extra.
beautiful.
So they're gonna have 8 more guys in there next turn alone.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's
next turn
probably a no-go. It's probably sub
But,
purchase.
but for sure, I threaten it, of course.
Well, yeah. I'm just thinking how
I
safe.
don't know. I had it in my head they were so set on kill Germany first. Like typically, I wouldn't have bought 2 transports in that situation. I would have just bought probably 1 and hedged it with a plane. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm just thinking here because if I can stack Ukraine, that would be a huge boost for us.
But
And
but
I'd
if you stack Karelia, I mean, you're able to use that boat to get guys up there. You probably take them off of West Russia anyway next turn, don't you think?
uh,
So what are you really gaining?
well, I'm thinking, because I can't use a calculator,
Yeah.
so that's why it's a little fuzzy for me. I don't know. Would I be able to chase him off because he'll be able to add a bunch of UK fighters, American fighter.
This is clearly a KJS.
Yeah.
So if you bought, I'm just throwing it out there, like two artillery for Karelia, and even if you just bought a plane, potentially like you've got them off.
Okay. Well, yeah. I think you probably can't afford to send those fighters away.
No.
All right. Well, I'll just do a regular.
I just don't think it gains you anything anyway. Like I said, I think you've got them off next turn.
I'll just use my Tongue Kai. And
Oh boy, poor destroyer. Oh well.
gotta have
servant
faith.
purpose.
In this situation, it would be it's too late now, very tempting to try a sea lion. Not this turn.
No, yeah. Well,
But
I might have thought about it if he didn't already have so much crap there.
yeah.
Hey, that's why I put the trap there.
He literally placed everything he had there last turn.
Yeah.
And I might have considered it, but Russia lost a lot there last turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not good news, obviously.
Do I want to add? You know what? I'll add that little artillery. I don't mind if he trades.
We actually can't hold. I don't know if we can hold here.
I don't know. Do I want to? Maybe I'll kind of am low on artillery. Maybe I'll save it.
Why are you afraid to use your planes up there? You just want to make sure you're dead zone.
Yeah,
You use
I
the
don't
fleet?
want him to. Maybe I'll use one
One?
plane, but
Yeah,
I
that's what I
don't
was.
want him to land a fleet there because as long as he can't land a fleet and be an annoying little twat, Moscow will usually fall by turn 6 or 7. He
Yeah.
had a strong start, but it's
Not relevant. Yeah.
okay. Let me see. Is there anything else? I don't want him to land a fleet.
No, I get that.
Okay, and I will. Let's just make sure that destroyer doesn't get a second chance.
If it takes down at least one sub, I'll be happy with.
What I don't want is 2 subs. Okay, does that look good?
Yeah, the only thing I'm wondering is if you want that carrier out of range of his bomber, so that it forces him to use the UK.
Wait, what? What carrier? What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
the cruiser. Sorry, out of range
Oh,
of his US bomber, so it forces him to use a
I love
UK
it.
plane.
I'd love it if that cruiser is worthless. If
Yeah, we're
he'd
not
be
gonna take cruiser.
silly to attack that.
No, I just rather him use a UK fighter than a American. That's all.
He's not going to attack it. There's
We're
no
not gonna.
benefit. That
I can
cruiser
tell you that
can't
right
do
now.
anything. Yeah, that cruiser's an unemployed bum.
In fact, you'd probably
Unless he
take the
wants to build
cruiser
a
as a
fleet.
casual. Well, I mean, if I were you, if the destroyer hits, I would take the cruiser, not the sub. Realistically,
Yeah.
sub does more for you.
Maybe. Yeah, that might be true. Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
that
go.
makes sense. Actually.
I'm never gonna have a fleet, which makes me cry, but it's
The
okay.
game lag. I hit desynchronized. Okay. The servers seem a little choppy the last couple hours.
Okay, so I guess the discussion we like to have here is: are we gonna try to hold West Russia?
I'm still gonna take out the sub.
Got one. I don't know if we can hold it. We probably have to try.
All I would say is I would have been tempted to put that cruiser in with the transport.
Cruiser what? With the transport?
In with the transport, just to potentially protect
Maybe
him or force him to fight to
You
attack with the
are
plane.
correct. That would have
Yeah,
that
that
was
would've been a better play.
that was a misplay. It's just one of those situations where I'm just trying to play fast. Okay, maybe
Well, kind of wish you had gone for the Ukraine stack.
well, I need Japan's support. I don't think I have enough without Japanese fighters.
Right, and pulling Japanese fighters away would have helped me immensely. With the predicament that I am currently in.
Yeah.
That's why I was thinking, oh, that would be good for us. In that case, we will have to return.
Okay, I'll move. Maybe I'll move the AA gun up there too. You know what? I'll move that artillery up there too. I should have moved that originally, but
I wouldn't worry about AA. I don't think you're gonna need it.
well, I'm gonna
No, he just
one
wants to put
there.
some pressure.
I just meant with your transport.
What?
You don't need it to move one with your transport.
I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, I get that.
Uh,
I thought that's what you were saying at first. That's all. My
oh,
bad.
artillery, not anti-aircraft artillery. Okay, all right. I think that's clean.
Yeah, that gives you a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I should have protected that transport, but I'm just moving fast. Well, and that's part of the blitz is you're trying to move at a good pace, and weird things happen.
So I think we have
Alright,
to
so what
try
do you want
to.
to do here?
I think we have to try
You
to
hold?
hold West Russia. I think even if we
I agree.
can't, we have to try to hold it.
We lose. Yeah. Okay, then my only purchase is going to be 2 fighters, 3 arty. The arty for India, so I can trade back, hit back a stack more effectively if they try to do this. Don't think they will. The question is, am I going to trade Burma here?
Yeah.
Well, if I don't, third fighter to West Russia.
I mean,
I think it's going to be required, to be fully honest.
you could try 2 infantry.
If we're going to try to
you
hold
could try
West
2
Russia,
infantry. You could try 2 infantry, and if it doesn't work,
I could
just
try
pull back.
infantry, yeah. Pull back, yeah. All right, let's do that. Do I want to take? I don't want to take Libya. I don't think. I don't want to pull back to
Yeah,
transfer.
yeah, you're gonna need that for like India or something.
Yeah, India or potentially they can come to West Russia.
Yeah.
We'll take the transport out. That's about it. I can leave my transport in 29, which can emergency rush to India if they're needed. 29, I don't think it gets hit by anything too far for this bomber. Wow, this is lame with the UK. Unfortunate.
I was gonna suggest sending a, but I guess we need the fighters in West Russia.
Yeah. Oh, we got it. 1 for 1, not bad. Yeah, we need everything that we possibly can send to West Russia to West Russia. The only thing is what do I do with my fleet? I'm pretty sure this stays here. Could be closer? 3 and 32. No.
Get it to 28.
Well, the thing is, in
The tran-
28, I can't drop to 35. The idea is that if India needs
I
emergency
guess,
help,
yeah.
I can drop from 29 or 32 to 35.
I'm thinking about getting into the Atlantic and trying to get a fleet down the Atlantic.
Are we going for an Atlantic fleet here? My impression is if I can hold India, I'm just going to pump out.
There's no path to winning this game if the British don't at least get a. Right? You know, like there's no, like we can't win this game if.
I mean, you can. The usual plan is the British put their fleet in India, and you crush Japan to the point where it's stuck on its.
There's already like 30 units, 35 units looking at West Russia. We're not going to be able to make up for what's coming in next round.
No, but we hold for as long as we can in Russia itself, and then we pull Russia out just to.
Yeah. Not
like
looking
you
good.
basically sacrifice Russia to kill Japan.
I think he's got Russia around 4 or 5 right now. If we don't get it down.
Yeah, the question is, can we get Japan before that? I don't know. I mean, no.
No.
Well, in that case, then what I'll do is I'll put this transport with the destroyer here.
I mean, it's yeah, okay.
That at least prevents his sub from coming around to harass you from the back.
Yeah.
This gives me options for India, and honestly, the distance to 28 is not any better because I have to go 1, 2, 3 steps anyway. I guess I might. these guys are doing. Doesn't matter. This guy will stay where he is. He's gonna walk to India because we're gonna a little short in India here. This is sad. There's really not much else about it. Even without dropping in India, we're not gonna lose India. Probably okay.
It's too late now. Instead of buying the artillery, you should have either saved or something next time.
The reason for the artillery buy is that if he attempts to stack Burma with land units, he gets punished for it.
I get that, but gotta get.
Do you see why I'm buying Black Tide?
Okay, give me a second. Let me.
What? One bomber, 2 submarines, and a destroyer.
Let me take a look real quick. Okay, so sub bomber. Let's see. So you did a sub, a bomber. Was that it?
2 subs, a destroyer, and a bomber. I'm not a big fan of the destroyer. I'd get rid of the destroyer because a sub attacks at the same, and you're gonna try and force him to attack into you. So we don't really need destroyers at this point. I just like the destroyer in case he, tries to. We start getting into a blocking fight,
Yeah, you already have 2. I don't think you need another destroyer. There's also the idea of an aircraft carrier, but yeah, you don't want to get a destroyer unless you have to. You could.
I like destroyers.
Yeah, I'd probably just maybe get another sub. You could maybe get some infantry too. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna set up for it all out on India. Even if I don't do it, I'm gonna put him in a situation where he has to get off of West Russia if he wants to defend it.
Okay, if that's the case, then maybe draw. Well, let's see. Let me see.
I think I'm gonna do the destroyer. I think it. You don't mind.
A sub does everything a destroyer does. If you have 2 destroyers, you don't need more. You never want to move into his attack range. What you want to do in KJFs is you want to.
No, I've played hundreds of games. I've played.
All right, well, I'll let you cook. You do what you want. I wouldn't buy a destroyer though.
It's you're better than I am, but yeah, I'll buy one land guy, I guess. I'm not used to at this point. Usually, I would have, like I said, done a little bit of different purchase time before, but I was thinking he was forced to go all KGF, so
it's kind of fuzzy on what the right thing to do in these situations are. It's fuzzy.
Black Tide and I purchase the same, where we try to be as efficient as possible every IPT.
Yeah, you want to make everything super ultra efficient, because even tiny inefficiencies can lose you the game. Because unless the destroyers are better for the US, because the US needs to defend.
Yeah.
Japan, what you're trying to do is get him to come into range of all your planes, all your subs, and give him just a really crappy fight.
Yeah.
And since you never plan to defend, and you already have 1 destroyer for anti-subs, you don't really need another.
I mean, there is logic in the sense that if you need to block to slow the U.S. fleets from getting to certain islands.
Yeah,
and
yeah, but
destroyers are quite useful.
they are, but we have two of them. You don't need more
Yeah,
at this
with
point.
with how to do, I agree. You don't probably need the. They're probably correct.
I'm not gonna rest my bomber.
What do
I
you
think
mean?
that's it. Pardon?
Hold on. Let's take a look at what you need to defend Burma with. Let's see, and you're gonna send some of them to. Let's see, what can he hit Season 61 with? He can hit it with 1, 2, 3.
I'll have an aircraft carrier with 2 planes on it there.
Yeah, he can hit it with 2 planes. Is that correct? Let me check his bomber. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 2 fighters.
He can hit it with 3 planes.
3 plane? How?
Bomber 2 fighters.
2, 3, 4, 5.
I don't
Well,
think-
yeah, he has a plane in Kazakh.
But the Kazakh can't reach the aircraft carrier can only.
No, you're
Bomber.
right. You're right.
It's a bomber and 2 fighters, so you can hit with 3 planes.
Yeah, I don't think the bomber can reach 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Absolutely, 100% it can if it lands in India. No problemo.
Oh, we're talking about Season 61.
Oh, 61. Never mind.
Yeah, 60. So I'm trying to decide. Well, yeah, I guess that's probably. Yeah, that's probably enough overkill. Okay, I think you can go ahead with that attack, and we can look at it closely because after that.
I'll take the battleship out of it. We probably don't need it anyway. Then we can figure it out.
You can also send 1 transport with artillery and infantry as well.
Oh, from the mainland.
Yeah, from 60.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, 1 artillery and infantry. It's the tanks are the only ones we have to decide if we want to put them in C-Zone 61 to get the extra 2 Envoy units.
Looks good.
I think so. Let me double check that bomber's range. 1, 2. Yeah, looks good. All right, can that little infantry get 2 hitbacks? Or just 1?
I don't think it has a shot at.
It's not going to get to, but
Well, that's what you'd hope. I've had I think I posted a screenshot in Dice Gods of 1 infantry or 1 artillery that dodged 10 plane shots and something like and 12 infantry shots.
Always amazes me how often they even get 1 hit back.
well, they get 1 hit back a third of the time, which is not infrequent.
I know, but it seems more than that sometimes.
Okay, so you can hit that with. Okay, so let's. Guess we'll move 1 destroyer there to 36. Destroyer.
Let's do what I'm thinking, and then you take a look at it.
Okay, yeah.
Being most unfortunate. I really think it's just that singular UK attack that was super duper annoying, but just really set us back completely. Because we were completely unable to clear the Empire.
That's what I'm thinking.
Let's see. Destroy.
That gives me 10, 13, 15, and 8 the other way. If they hit him with all the planes, I mean, the battleship and destroyer,
Uh-huh. That's
I don't see him
pretty
doing
good.
it.
Yeah,
We'll take him out.
yeah, I like it.
Even if I lost the 2 transports, it wouldn't really be the end of the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're kind of disposable at this point. Yeah, looks good.
I was surprised they didn't take both transports, at least one of them up with their units and the other one ready to into India. But
Well, he doesn't want you to snipe them with planes.
I can
He can
still
always
drop
do that
India.
next turn if he wanted.
I only
no, I
have-
figured he was going to lose one anyway, and the other one just have it kind of like where he has it.
I don't think I need both. I don't think you can take India, to be realistic. You
Really?
can, but it would be at sufficient cost where the US would just then run you over. So if I trade India for like half your air force, that's probably fine.
Really? We have an incredible amount that can hit it right now. We have 20 guys and 6 planes. And that doesn't count battleship and cruiser.
Yeah, so you have 12. You don't have 20.
Yeah, 20.
You do have 20, yeah. From the 2 from yeah. Hopefully. 20 guys into I'll drop 2 off. So 8, 9, 11 plus a tank is 12. Spawn 3 is 15. Land 3 fighters, and then
19.
land 4 American fighters and 3 UK fighters. Makes it.
Oh yeah,
2.
no. If you come off of West Russia, yeah, that's different. But
We have to
trying
come
to
off of
do
West
both.
Russia.
Yeah.
I hold West Russia through Germany's turn, but then my UK planes come down after that, and then we come off West Russia next turn. We no matter how many planes
That's
we
true.
come
Yeah,
off.
that makes sense.
All right, I'm looking at a transport, a couple of fighters, and a bomber. I don't think I need more.
You have enough destroyers to block.
I don't think I
You
need.
might need a destroyer. You have 4. You have 4.
Yeah, I don't think I need any more naval ships at this.
No.
Get another transport.
I think we just send everything to India here. Let him hit West Russia if he wants. I don't think he will.
Yeah, I'll land my 3 fighters in India. Hold it one.
You can get 4.
Yeah, okay.
And the bomber.
You know what I mean.
I think we'll hold it. It's fine.
Now, here's the question: do I want to take Philippines here? Do I want to I could sack a transport and take like Philippines, try and hold 9. Take New Guinea.
I would go to Iwo. You take Iwo Jima with your entire fleet.
I want to take an island.
The idea of Iwo is that he can't leave his fleet in 36,
I know,
so he
I
has
know,
to decide.
but
I mean, you could try to stack 49. At least take New Guinea.
We have to do something.
I don't think.
We can't. We can't. We have to do something. What can he hit?
Everything. Literally everything. I mean, if you take 49, you have to stick your destroyer in 48. The problem is you can't even put your actually you can't. No, there's no way you can take if you're sending the planes to India, you cannot take 49. In fact, if you're sending the planes to India, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 versus 3, 4. I would consider EWO if you're gonna send the fighters to India, then I would take EWO. If you're not, then you could do it. Or you take nothing and you just hold in Solomon.
No.
Well, you have to sack a transport then.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
there's
gonna.
no way
I
to-
think I'm gonna sack a transfer. Take him. Mess around with.
The thing is I don't know if it really disrupts him that much, right? Because he just pulls 2 guys off and kills it if he doesn't go for India. If you do nothing, it makes him do nothing with his units a turn.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Well, because okay, so if you do nothing, he can't. He either has to hit India or do nothing, right? Because he's in position for literally nothing else. So we just make India as unpalatable as possible, and then
I don't.
he gets to twiddle his thumbs. Up to you though.
I
don't
think we
have a
got it.
strong
I
opinion
think
one way or
like
the other.
I that's one thing with KJF. I don't ever want to sit nothing, and I don't want to keep messing around with islands that don't do anything. Like I want Japan to have to react. Japan's
Yeah,
too
the
big.
issue is what does it cost them? It doesn't cost them anything here, but
It
yeah,
do-
I
it
see what you
does.
mean.
Definitely.
It slows them down, I guess. All right, fair enough.
Let's attack.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I mean, we could take New Guinea and, but then that's 2 destroyed. I'd rather just sack or transfer than sack 2 destroyed.
No, I agree. I mean,
And
I don't even think you
Iwo
can sack
Jima,
destroyers.
I know it puts pressure on him, but I don't just.
Well, the reason I think Iwo is because with Iwo you force him to build land to defend Japan, whereas with the Philippines he still doesn't have to build any land.
He
can
doesn't
still
have to build
that.
land to defend Japan though. He just has to move his fleet 6. Taking Philippines makes him use land. That's the only way I can get him to.
This is true. Or you could just stick your fleet in 50. You can't do that. Yeah, that's true. 58 doesn't work. The problem with Philippines is he can take it and he doesn't really lose position, I guess. I mean, I don't know. It's probably fine, but I mean, I don't really. As I said, if you think it's good, then go for it. Like,
The problem is I don't have another transfer right behind it.
that's my thing. Is he's not threatened. Like you lose the threat of taking an island, right? So he doesn't have to. He doesn't even have to defend. It might look stupid, but I'm not opposed to sitting in Solomon.
No, I'm not gonna sit in. I don't.
Uh, problem is with Ewo, he actually can hit the fleet, I think. Although it's not great odds for him. He can hit it with 3, 4, 6. He can hit it with all the planes too.
Hit it with
He can hit it with all of them.
no, where's he gonna land to?
If he builds a carrier.
If he
Just
builds a
he can
carrier.
hit with all of them.
I mean, that's exactly the point. Like, we want him to build a carrier that'll land you.
I think we want him to build land units, right? Because those the KGF those are stuck. It's not a great option either because then your fleet gets annihilated. I think.
Like,
1,
I'll
2,
have like
3.
12 things.
Yeah, you'll have 12. He'll have 13. So it's close. You're probably okay. I mean, it's probably fine.
Can we afford one fighter from India? Need all of them.
No, you can afford one.
Land one more fighter.
Yeah, I think that's fine then. I'd rather him hit India again and lose half his air force than than lose your fleet.
That's it. Everything.
Yeah.
Hit back. Oh, I got it.
So 54. Line. Oh, this is pretty bad.
Okay. No hit. Always. No hit.
Oh
That attack never
no!
works out. It's tight, but it's probably okay. We're giving him like a bunch of 40% battles, I think. I obviously don't know the exact odds, but on my estimation, it looks like he can like go for it, but he would have to sack air to take anything. I think in West Russia as well. So, but everything's fine. Continues that way. Got this infantry back.
You can drop
it
your
there.
infantry. I would drop it to Persia with the idea that if he doesn't take India strong,
We
he can
could
use
take it
it.
back.
I guess you don't have any air range, but yeah. So he has to leave. He has to leave like a decent force there because Russia. can nuke.
That's it. That's everything.
Yeah, I think we just have to pray that basically we hold all 3 spots, which is not likely, but it's okay.
All right.
They're doing.
All right.
Hey, Soviet Union.
Yeah, I think we well, Metry. I mean, you fighter. We're so short that it's not going to matter. We're really gonna end up trading one thing here mostly.
Archangel. Let's use the
Um,
infantry from Evenki into Archangel, straight Archangel. Everything West Russia and pray for the best.
you could do 2 1 and 1 into Ukraine as well. That's reasonable. It's net positive and it prevents him from getting into Caucasus for another turn, which is nice.
Wait, so should I just buy infantry? Sorry.
Yeah, by infantry and whatever you have left over that's uneven, just make the difference up with artillery. So in this case, it would just be the 1 artillery. Oh, you could have gotten 1 more. Whoops. Oh, well, you could have gotten 1 more infantry, I think.
Oh, oops.
Okay.
It probably doesn't matter.
Most likely it doesn't, yeah. We'll just spend it next turn. Well, it just matters in the sense that if we have more than 24, it's not great because
Yeah, that is true.
yeah, so I would just send the 3 infantry from Evenki into Archangel and then take Ukraine and pray.
I would send at least 1 unit from West Russia so that if we get like 2 of his units or something and he doesn't hit back, we can retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would send the one artillery from West Russia and then a fighter, and then you can that. That's a good point. We can probably hold here. I'm looking at it. Maybe kind of. There is one thought about going with 2 infantry into. No, that's good. I just hate how Japan is not only running over India but also running over Russia, which is really bad in a KJF. Usually you want to stuff them in one of those 2 spots, and we have failed to do both. So that's bad.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
Yeah, Japan is doing too well.
Maybe we should have just stuck with KGF, even though the Atlantic sucked, but
It would have taken us till this round to probably try and get anything order.
yeah, but it at least means we can stabilize Russia, right? Theoretically.
So should I just go with this?
That looks good to me.
Archangel worked out.
He hasn't finished the rolling. He got a hit and he stopped.
I'm
I
freaking
think
out.
it's because you have fast dice on and he doesn't.
Yeah,
Oh.
turn fast dice on and turn off show dice animations.
And that will make it's syncing up for different players because you have different dice settings. So that's what's happening.
Cow, do you know where that setting's located? Cow, are you there?
Am I just in or is there?
Oh, and he's gone.
I think there might be some disconnecting going on.
Still shows he's online.
Yeah, but my game froze, so I have to actually restart it. Give me a second.
Hmm.
Server has not been great.
He hasn't been talking on Discord either, so
He was just talking in his turn.
oh, he was.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
disconnected in Discord. But yeah, turning fast dice on is really good.
Hey, Black Tide. Online, you see some of these guys, and their dice goes crazy fast. How do you get your dice to go that fast, or are they just speeding up their playback?
It's the having a faster computer. This game is actually taxing on a computer, surprisingly.
Huh. Yeah,
Or
I am
was.
spaghetti code. I don't know. I just have fast dice on and turn animations off. I don't. The only person I watch is Mac.
Yeah,
I don't watch, so I don't know.
player, I think it's like Cobra or something. Like their dice just fly.
Well, Cobra speeds
I
up
don't
his
know.
Cobra speeds it up in his edit.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. 'Cause you hear,
Yeah, that's
he must do a good job because you hear his voice normal over top of the dice rolling.
yeah. I've talked to him
So that's
about that, and he's successfully split his audio from. Well, voice you do
Oh,
separate. Yeah, we do voice
Yeah.
separate, but yeah.
that's smart. He's not the best Axis and Allies player in the world, but he's very good at editing his videos.
I mean, as long as you have fun, that's what matters.
Yeah.
I'm
Do
a
a lot
pretty
of
new
things with
player
video editing.
myself, so I'm still learning the game. This is I've only played like half a season before this one.
Well, you're already in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Well, it's just
I know the season's not over yet.
yeah.
definitely gonna be platinum.
Top 10 flat?
Yeah. In access, right?
Oh,
Or
wow.
no, allies.
Yeah.
Allies.
Both. It jumps around. I've been on a bad luck streak. I was rank 1 allies before. I think I've dropped down to like 6 or 8, and my axis, I don't know. I think I'm rank 2. I don't know.
For some reason, a lot of my games lately have been against people just that aren't even ranked yet.
Well, they got to play against somebody.
No, I know, but it's kind of it's frustrating when you have 3 or 4 like that in a row.
He says that his laptop, he's having trouble with his laptop.
But when I first bought this game, I had so much trouble with it. I don't know if it was because it was Windows 11 or what, but this is like last, spring, summer sometime.
Alright, let's just be patient. I think he's using his laptop.
Okay. Yeah, what I did is I tried to watch what people on YouTube videos did. I watched Mac, and he was really good because he played a very different style from me.
He's
never-
really good.
He's
Knew
pretty
the
good.
idea of tank rushing.
Oh, tank rushing. Tank rushing is special.
Well, it's interesting because what you're doing is you're sacrificing the quality of your overall army in order to snatch up IPC territory and try and from Russia quickly.
It's interesting when they do the double tank rush from both sides. I've never tried that, but
Well, it's
I
something you
have
can
never
do.
lost versus the double tank rush. Let's put it that way. I don't believe it can be that strong.
Well,
Mac
I usually
goes
I,
as
I do
well.
tank rushes different from Mac. Mac goes for the kill. Me, once I get Caucasus, then I just buy nothing but infantry and try to stall the game out while I have the eco lead.
Yeah,
Well, that's the right way to do it. The kill is never going to happen against the competent player. But yeah, you can definitely do it. Like, I don't mind a tank rush. I'm just saying that if you're doing it with both sides, then it's not right, because you're
Well, it's
you have no
if
defensive.
you're it depends. It's something you sometimes do if you think you're sufficiently behind and you just want to YOLO it. Like I'm playing yeah, it's sometimes it's just better to try something risky than to concede. Hope
That
the other
is fair
person
enough.
messes up. Yeah, I lost a game this season because someone attacked Berlin with a 0.2% capture chance on Berlin, and they got it.
Oh,
1 in 500 chance of getting it, and they got it.
What did the defender do? Get back
That's-
2?
Yeah.
Okay.
impressive.
Yeah. I would keep going, right?
wow.
Ah.
Your German defenders are heroes.
Oh god.
Yeah, they're heroes, but that was also a high variability battle too.
For trade.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Ironically, Cao was the first top 10 player I beat. He got such an abysmal West Russia. I think he had one unit survive West Russia and completely failed Ukraine and conceded on Germany 1, and I felt like a fucking hero.
Don't put the fighter in Caucasus. Everything has to go to West Russia here. Literally everything.
Unless you want
And
to
the
pull
one
back.
infantry. We can't because we lose the British fighters. The one infantry in Vologda will be used to block the tanks from blitzing into Moscow in Archangel. And everything else will.
Well, no, the one infantry from Vlog that goes into Russia. 2 infantry Archangel stuff.
I guess.
Oh, did you retreated into Caucasus? Is that what happened? Artillery.
No, those are unused. They should
Oh,
move
okay.
into West Russia.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they go.
I think you have at least 50% odds on West Russia. Like that.
Oh, I'm going for it.
Yeah,
No, so
we're just
sorry.
yeah. That's what we
Vologda-
said. We have to try to hold it.
Vologda infantry has to go to Archangel. Oh no, never mind. Never mind. Those two go there.
Those
Yeah,
attacked
yeah,
into
they can't move.
Archangel, they
Yeah,
can't move.
you're right. You're right. You're right. You are, of course, right.
So that's it.
You're good. You're good. Way it is.
And I figure if I can take West Russia out, then that makes India a no-brainer without those 3 fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really have a choice because the problem is even if we don't do that, there's
Do
no
we
other way
want
to get them to hit
anything
anyway.
in Caucasus? I guess we do.
That's
yeah.
fine. He can only hit it with 1 artillery and
Yeah,
some planes.
yeah, I
so
guess we
that's
do.
Not a problem. Hold it, and then we. Yeah. I would even put the artillery there. That's probably fine.
Yeah, that really hurts. That Ukraine artillery.
Yeah.
I mean, we just haven't had any luck at all with trading with Russia, so.
Yeah, but you've also done a lot of really high variability fights. Like, I think that was like a 68% conquer, so 1 out of 3 chance it's gonna flub. Or so.
68% conquer doesn't necessarily mean 68% to kill all the units, right? We don't necessarily need to conquer. We just need to kill all the stuff.
Yeah, I was
chance that
hoping
we
I was
lose
hoping to
many
somehow
units-
retreat from that. Actually, yeah, I didn't.
I think he was right to go after. Well, I don't know. I don't know if attacking. It's just against a, tank rush against Russia. You have to be really careful about attacking because you have no backup.
What
And-
what unfinished move do I have?
The artillery, you still have to
You have
place
to
it.
place your artillery.
You could
Yeah,
put
you
it in
have to-
Russia. It doesn't really matter.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter much.
All right. A gun, please be kind.
Yeah, we also got to see if you have your defense profiles set properly.
It doesn't matter. This is overwhelming, I guess.
It is. But if it's
I don't think we had a choice.
No.
I guess this was just over when we failed to kill that battleship. Was it really that bad?
Oh yeah.
No, I think they were just one of the problems is Russia. You tried to attack too many spots as Russia. You should have hit 1 or 2 spots at most. And
I
when
mean,
doing
that's
a
yeah.
when it's a one-on-one of Germany versus Russia, you have to be super cautious with your attacks.
Yeah,
And
that,
you got bad dice,
I was
but
saying I was trying to, but yeah, there was a couple of times
I mean, yeah, I agree to some extent, but the thing is two in a fighter versus two infantry is good. It's a good attack to take, right?
Mhm.
It is risky, but it's a good attack to take on average. So
but you never ever
We got a
put your
point.
Russian fighters at risk. That's my rule. I never put my Russian fighters.
I mean, 10%, right? It's not that much.
Yeah. The big mistake was that fighter not being an Archangel right at the beginning.
the defense
Yeah, that
profile
was
on the AA gun should have
Yeah,
been
that's what I
first.
was saying. The AA should go first.
Oof, you got really good hitbacks though.
not good enough.
Well, it was a pretty overwhelming fight though.
It's over. We try to hold India here and then pray. I mean, there's nothing else to do. We can't even take back West Russia, probably. I think we
No.
have to try, but
No, this game is.
you have to try.
You guys want to call it, or you want to start another game, or you want to?
Well, it's too late to start another.
Let's see how India goes. Might survive.
I mean,
If
we
you
could
take-
finish
I
the
don't even know if
round.
he'll
We
take
could
the
finish
India.
out the round. Game is definitely.
This is one of those where I don't really know what else I would do. Even if I deploy to India, it doesn't change anything here. Then I guess the only thing is the Russia. Okay, but if Russia doesn't attack, we still have to pull out of West Russia if we want to survive another turn.
If you didn't deploy to India,
Like,
Yeah, in a KGF, you usually want to have all of Japan's money islands by the time Moscow falls to have it be a, and even then Germany is
Well,
usually ahead for the Axis.
the problem is here's the fundamental issue: is I lost the fighters, right? Because even if we put your American plane in West Russia, and actually the only other thing that could go to West Russia is that American plane. That's not going to make a difference in this battle.
Yeah.
So the fact of the matter is, I'm supposed to have 2 more fighters from the UK in that defense, and I don't. So
Okay. Need to think here. Cannon. What are his? That's 6, 12, 13. I won't be greedy. I won't be greedy with those tanks. I was thinking, should I try for a Moscow capture next turn? But I probably don't need to take that risk.
I mean, the only thing the UK can put down a fleet, can get a fleet in the water.
not really. I would have to. I mean, personally, here I would just buy 3 fighters for India and pray.
Yeah, but that's
That's the only way to do it.
you're just losing next round though. That's giving up anyway.
No, because if he hits it and loses, then we can actually take Japan.
I think we're taking Japan.
Well, if,
Not-
he doesn't
not the-
buy, if he doesn't buy anything,
You,
No, I mean,
you,
not take Japan.
you
But, I mean,
probably
like,
have odds on Russia next turn. Black Tide.
yeah, I probably do have odds on
Yeah.
Russia, especially if I added the tanks in Karelia. But
Yeah.
we're not in. I'd rather have a 90. I can't use a calc, but I'd rather have a 99% capture than maybe an 80%.
Yeah. That's
If
true.
I ask myself, will my odds be better next turn? And if the answer is yes, then I'll usually wait.
I
I mean, he can only hit C Zone 7 with.
mean, okay, that's still a carrier and a destroyer, right? And then what? He still hits it? I don't know what the solution here is, right?
If he hits it, then I mean, that's a pretty poor attack for.
He'll do it. Just the thing is, what does it get me to build a fleet at this point? I would rather just save, right? There's no reason to actually put it down.
I mean, I think the game's over. I don't think there's any chance of.
Well, if he doesn't buy and you get Japan, that could win the game.
I mean, okay, I think I'm just gonna put the fighters in India here because I don't really see a point to anything else. At least those could be used against to help Moscow. I will try to save some income,
I mean,
and then the rest is hopeless. I have to take this, I think, if I ever do want to build a fleet.
that's even only 3 that he can hit you now. Build a carrier.
And assuming I don't lose a fighter.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you know, that's the point. You got to take risks.
I don't think so. I mean, all right, let's just do this. Sorry, I just don't know. I mean, I can try to optimize this all I want, but I think it's just it's a lesson in utility. I like how his sub still rolls dice. That's funny.
Invalid hit, yeah. Same happens if a sub attacks an aircraft carrier with fighters on it and no destroyer.
All right, it is what it is. All right.
Okay. Hmm. Well, I think this is a all infantry and fighter buy, right? Because we don't want you losing Japan.
Well, the only other option is if I tried to stonewall in the C Zone 60.
Yeah.
I would-
I guess you
I would
also
buy 2 destroyers and 2 planes, and attack him with everything except bring all the whole fleet back.
yeah, you might even have decent odds attacking his fleet if you used everything, but how about we use our mulligan to calculate the India odds and such? Does that sound good to you?
Sure.
All right.
India odds are overwhelming. I don't need a calculator to tell you that. Unfortunately,
Yeah, I don't think we really need a calculator, but
Okay, well then
the only thing
I'd
is you
probably-
might
if,
lose.
if you wanted to use a mulligan,
well,
I'd use it for the American fleet attacking the Japanese fleet in C Zone 60.
I wouldn't worry
that's
about
more
the
like what we're worried.
Americans. I would just buy maybe 3 infantry and 3 planes just to make sure he doesn't cap Japan. Because if you get India, I think,
Yeah.
I think we're good as long as he doesn't take Japan. Yeah,
It just
You have to live in India. You're correct.
yeah, because once you take India, you can just plop down 3 units a turn, take all of Africa, even if he takes your money islands.
so what am I doing with my ships afterwards?
Uh,
Do,
I,
do
I
I want
you
season
want them all in
62?
one place. You probably want them all in 35.
Really?
Yeah, you want all your stuff in one place, right? And
I
you
know,
want
but I'll never get back to Japan then if I do that, right? Or you
well,
think I'll just start?
I think
That's
it's I think you're fine because you're going to buy a bunch of planes there. Um, I think it's okay. And if he wants to attack like Philippines, which is the only thing he's in range of, I mean, he could go to Manchuria, but that doesn't do much for him. If he wants to
Yeah.
go to the Philippines, he'd have to be in range of your fleet, and he can't block you either. So I think 3 fighters, 3 infantry.
No, that makes sense.
And I have a good feeling that you might have a new industrial complex to use next turn.
Yep.
And the other good thing is
Well-
if it works out, you'll
India's
get
closer than you think.
4 U.S. fighters. Yeah, that's about. It's a lot of stuff.
It's
But-
20 units plus all his planes into less than 20 units. You may have to lose a plane or two to capture it, but I think you've got like 85%
Yeah.
at least.
We have 20 units.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just make sure you don't attack that transport
And he's coming in with
and use
24.
the bombards.
That's
I mean, if I was him, I would do a YOLO on Japan.
What,
The only thing I'm debating is whether to do 6 guys and two planes.
what? No, you don't need. Look. He has 2 infantry, 2 fighters, and 2 bombards, and you're gonna have 4 infantry, 3 fighters, and 8.
Oh, I know. The odds are way in my favor.
Sure.
I'm
if-
just saying what I would do if I was him. His only chance to really salvage the game is probably to take Japan. Stranger things have happened, right? I think maybe I'll send a destroyer back. It might seem dumb, but that guarantees you can't take it, right?
Yeah, you
We'll see.
don't need to commit the destroyer.
I know. I'm just yeah. Okay. Black Tide's famous last words.
What? Okay. I think it's a solid idea.
No, I totally agree with you. I'm just
But I don't think he has any odds trying to fight. Let's see, that would be.
that'd be the battle I'd take if I was him. That's all. That's all I'm
I don't
saying.
think there's. I think there's no.
I don't
odds.
think there's odds either.
You have more everything.
Now,
Yeah, do the other attacks as well.
yeah, I'm just. Yeah, we can talk about it after.
I mean, what does it say here? It says favorable? Surprising. No, it's strong. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's at least 90% odds. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's missing a lot of fighters.
Fighters.
He's missing 5
Yeah.
fighters compared to where he should, but that's part of the reason we're doing it.
Right, yeah, I mean, like with the additional fighters, I would definitely have been able to hold it, but there was no way we were holding West Russia, I guess. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do here. I mean, I guess we could have been a little more conservative with Russia. I don't feel like that ends up changing a whole lot, to be fully honest.
I think Russia. I think I think the Russia was the problem. You tried to trade too much with no support, and you got bad dice, but you shouldn't have tried so many attacks. You should have just done 1 or maybe 2 overwhelming attacks instead of 3 slightly favorable attacks. If it were me.
Well, I guess here's the thing: is 2 overwhelming attacks. What is overwhelming? Overwhelming is 80%, right, or something.
It's the total IPC value
it's just
and
the
what you'll
number of
lose in the counterattack, because even if all your attacks succeed, you're gonna lose 6 units
yeah,
guaranteed.
it's the
next
number
turn.
of land you use.
Gotta play him.
If you don't, Germany just gets a death stack, right?
Well, you have to
whatever
make
else
them
they
make
have to
little
do.
trade. You, know,
Well,
you trade one
The
or
dice
two.
aren't on my side. That was way below.
Yeah, those weren't great.
Oh, he hits with the bomber.
That bomber's no joke, but he didn't set it to bomber first on his turn.
Yeah.
I thought I did.
There's also a glitch I noticed where I think you have to like exit and re-enter the game sometimes for defense profiles to activate. It's not always consistent.
Interesting. Usually mine activate, but maybe well, it's over. It's not even close.
Yeah.
As you
Yeah,
said, it was probably something like a 80 to 90 something conquer chance.
Oh, it is what it is. One, two.
Yeah, kill Japan first are hard to pull off.
Oh, we didn't even get to the killing point. We weren't going to kill anybody first.
Yeah, that's not what
Well-
just that's not what lost it.
What do you think? Pull the 47 infantry in, or don't worry about it?
Wait, what?
That
What do you-
probably doesn't really matter. Well, pull the infantry in. Like, we'll lose the
Oh,
transport, but
47? Yeah, but make use of it. Don't, yeah, put. Well, hold on, actually. Will that make your transport vulnerable?
yeah, but we have 4 transports. I don't see what's ever needing 4 transports again.
Yeah, maybe pick it up and put it in 37 out of his range, and then you can maybe take Madagascar or take some Africa income with it. I think that's a good idea. Yeah, put it in East Indies.
Is that out of his range? Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you killed his bomber.
Yep.
And probably move that Soviet Far East guy. I don't know. Where do you move him to? Buryatia?
Right, doesn't matter. Game's pretty much over anyway.
Oh, so you decided not to do the destroyer block?
Yeah. Figure you're owning it. Yeah, I mean they don't really have a shot at it. I just
Yeah, I don't.
weirder things have happened, right?
Maybe. Yeah.
We go
I mean,
for
you have
early
more
here.
infantry, you have more artillery, you have an AA gun, and they defend higher. There's no chance.
I
of
mean,
that.
at this game's I'm not. You
But like I said, that'd be the only thing that would bring them back into the game if they took Japan. Wait. Neutralizes India.
That was offensive.
that's my move. See what happens. Implausible. Not conceivable.
Implausible's worse than poor. Poor usually means it's like 60% chance to win or something.
That's unlikely.
I think they have that mechanism set up so that players don't get mad at them for bad advice.
All right. Well, this game's
Well, Cal, at least you did you learn a lot anyway?
Yeah, I did. Thank you.
like that first. It wasn't just the battleship. It was that you had subs that
Yeah,
really
mean-
hurt, and just losing the 3 aircraft to start off for nothing.
Yeah, I took a risk because we were behind, and I got really lucky, and it made things.
And
Yep.
I don't think the Soviet Union had one good trade the whole game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so other than the first round, that was really lucky. But again, I wouldn't have taken those same fights that Soviet.
I
Union
would have
did.
traded a little less too. I would have traded more lightly with less, but it's still the trade just didn't go well at even
Yeah.
where they went with.
Yeah, you were still favored in each of the trades. They just didn't go.
Yeah, they were. You usually conquer like
Win some of them.
58% and clear things probably 80-90%.
All right.
Oh well, good game, guys.
You know, the important bit is to clear, but yeah, GG.
GG.
That's a tough one. I'm not really sure what else there is to be done.
Well, it was kind of a weird game, you know, that Russia had a super strong start, so I did a really risky early German split. It worked, and then losing 3 planes on the battleship sucked.
Yeah, like that German split. You can lose your sub against the destroyer. They could still have their battleship, and I mean, automatically the game's in the other person's hands.
Well, it's one of those things when you're behind, you take risks. If they fail, you're more behind. But I think it's important to take calculated risks when you're behind,
Yeah.
or you're just gonna get grinded down. But especially the Allies, Axis cannot come back from bad starts nearly as easily as the Allies can.
I almost never go for India.
Well, it depends. It's
Well, they
good
could
players,
just
don't
stack it.
ever
They could
get
just stack it so fast, right? Like
Yeah,
if
against
they
good
see it
players,
coming.
you don't get it. But sometimes it makes sense when they lose all their early planes and they didn't build the first turn, and Russia has no units to reinforce.
Yeah, that's why losing
Yeah.
those first 3 that battles and like,
I wonder
I
if
mean-
he'd gone those if he'd gone those fighters in.
Yeah, if the fighters are in, then the battle becomes like extremely winnable.
Very,
Just
yeah,
drop all the
very
fighters.
positive.
Well, yeah, if it were average rolls, he would have he
I
would
would
have
lose the bomber.
5 more planes and
Yeah,
4 or 5 more planes and 3 extra infantry there.
I probably would have strafed the Navy in 59. Yeah, if you'd been able to get all those planes in there.
Yeah,
see,
that-
now
I
I
think
had
that was-
I did that, and I had like 4 sub to get a good strafe.
Yeah, I think that was my thought. I feel like the battleship was kind of the problem that led to the whole thing spiraling.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
huge.
no,
That was huge. That battle.
That's so rare to take 3 against and lose.
Because also think about it. Had I not deployed to UK, even with your 1 transport, you still can take UK. When I lose both those fighters.
Yeah, that'd be 2 transports, 6 planes. That's no joke.
And 2 bombards.
And 2 bombards, and I think the odds of the odds of the transport living against the US attack was probably pretty
quite
high,
high.
probably
Yeah.
40-50%.
Well, that was a calculated
what it
risk
is,
I
yeah.
had to take.
Well, and you could have even set yourself up for a round 2 against the UK, possibly.
Yeah,
Because
there,
they wouldn't have had enough left
could
to
have built
take out both those transports
no
and a new transport.
Yeah, I think you're
Oh,
right.
you could just put a carrier down
had-
and a bunch of transports, and it would have been over.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Sea Lion was also a good had a good chance of success, but uh, I I think going for Russia was just an easier, safer play.
Yeah.
What's the line?
Sea Lions when you go for the UK with Germany. So like Operation Sea Lion in World War II was when Hitler was going to attack the UK. So you build something to protect your fleet, and you buy as many transports as you can. It's a really fun play if it works.
So how do you guys recommend me going from here? Should I like play against AI or just jump into a random game or something?
I would play
Well,
against people.
I'd say, playing against AI until you can beat them every time, because it's fast. Then I'd recommend watching YouTubes of platinum players,
Yep.
and just copying the standard moves,
This
and
game
then
is
seeing
on.
like the reason
You know this game is
because
on
one of the
YouTube, right?
things. What?
You guys know this game is on YouTube.
Oh, one of you streaming?
Yes. Yeah, I always stream.
Yeah, he has
Oh,
his own channel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
What's
I
your
saw
channel?
that.
I'm not a platinum player, so if you watch my videos, like I'm only a gold player. But yeah, watch platinum.
Gold's like the I
Intermediate.
think gold means you're like a top 20% player, something like that. It goes wood, bronze, silver, gold. Yeah, I think gold's. Actually, I'm not sure. Top.
I consider that like
I
intermediate.
don't know, but yeah, yeah. Gold means you're better than most people.
But yeah, I watch
so-
platinum players too. I didn't. TTG.
But
Everybody watch TTG.
Who's TTG?
TTG guy. He had a channel a few. Made a really good instructional channel video.
Yeah, I was watching him.
I watched Mac was the person I watched, but
I've seen his
Um,
videos. Yeah, I see.
probably because his videos are very short. I think I saw Cobra or something when I first watched too. He is entertaining, but one of the biggest things you learn in this game to be successful is you want to attack with overwhelming odds. So you don't give the enemy more than 1 or 2 hitbacks. And to also consider what after you finish that attack, what can my opponent attack me back with?
Right.
So
Yeah, you usually
just
only want to
getting
leave.
overwhelming odds.
You usually only want to leave 1, maybe 2 or 3 units on the front line. You 5 units, 6 units left on the front line.
Yeah. If you can't, if you don't have good odds against an enemy counterattack, then you want to go in win with as little as possible.
So trading.
Yeah, you want to make the trades as uneven as possible, because if you kill all your opponent's things in one turn, we'll just say they're all infantry, they're only killing 1 unit for every 3 of them that you kill.
Yeah. Okay. So if I'm playing against AI, should I play like as a whole like faction or just one country or?
You want to play one full faction, because that's how you're going to play online most of the time.
It doesn't hurt to play ranked either. I mean, you're playing wood.
Yeah, Axis is easier to learn than Allies. Allies is a bit harder to play, but at the highest level, Allies have an advantage over the Axis.
Right. Okay.
If you play against the AI too, you have a big advantage if you don't go with the Larry Harris 3.0. If you go with like the standard game,
Oh yeah, that's ridiculous.
you have a really big advantage.
Oh, just
What-
turn India.
What's the difference between the rule sets?
The rule set.
Not the rules; it's the placement of the guys.
they give the Axis a bunch of extra units and the Allies less units, and it makes it really Axis favored to a ridiculous degree.
In the original rules?
Yeah, you don't want to use the original rules. You want to practice with Larry Gen Con. That's what all the rank.
Yeah, what we're playing is actually the third edition. Even though it's called second edition. It's actually third edition setup.
Cool.
So yeah, there's a spot when you do your games against AI where you choose. It's always automatically set on standard, but you can change it to Larry Harris. But it doesn't really matter starting out, but it will give you a big advantage starting out if you go with the non-Larry Harris ones. If you
Yeah,
go with the
not good for learning.
yeah.
But yeah, play the AI until you get kind of annoyed with how easy they are, and then
And then once in a while, ask somebody to play you a game like this. Go on the voice channel together, and have them just talk to you as you're playing. If somebody's
Bill.
willing to do that, you'll learn a lot doing that.
Yo, Black
Alright,
Diamond,
cool.
what's up?
did you ever get your buddy? Who's your partner for Showcase?
Manifest?
Did you ever get him to get back to him whether or not he wants to showcase?
Yeah, he's down with it.
Okay, cool. So if I get that buddy to tell me where you want to see you guys, you're down to take a duo showcase?
Yeah. Artemis hasn't gotten back to me on if they, on what team side they want.
I'm gonna go, guys.
What's his
Okay.
partner's
All right,
name?
have a good night.
Commander
Alright, see ya.
Com and Artemis.
Sorry again?
Commander Com and Artemis, I think, is who we're
Commander.
playing.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
What showcase?
Where you see the channels, showcase channels. It
Yeah.
shows, like, people post a screenshot of after they do each turn, and then they, let's see, after that, they post their the state of the board, and they say, this is why I did this, this, and this. Like, I'm in a showcase right now under Exhibition Match 2, All-Star Match number 1. We just started a game. And you can see the screenshot of the end of the turn and why we did things.
Oh, okay.
All right. Night, guys.
Alright,
Yeah,
Night,
I'm gonna
you
get
guys.
go.
Thanks for playing.
Good night. Yeah, a good game.
good.
Sorry.
See you guys.